Good afternoon and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please do click the subscribe button and turn on the notification button so that you will get updates on our content as soon as we drop them. Yeah, today class we'll be looking at matter. In our previous class, we looked at the concept of chemistry and we defined chemistry as a branch of science that deals with matter, its property, structure, composition, and the changes in uses matter undergoes. So today, we'll be looking at that definition that says chemistry is a branch of science that deals with the study of matter. Very importantly, we have to know what matter is. So, what is matter? Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Anything that has mass and occupies space. That is matter. So going by this definition, it implies that in our daily interactions, everything we virtually use is matter. From plants to animals to even non-living things. Is it the trees, the wood, the chairs, our textbooks, our phones, our cooking utensils, our furniture in the building, the house, electronics? They all have mass and they occupy space. So chemistry virtually is dealing with everything that you know. So what are we saying in essence? If chemistry is the study of matter, it means chemistry is the study of everything that you know. And what does it study in everything that you know? It studies the property, it studies the composition, it studies the structure, and it studies the changes those things you know undergo. It's as simple as that. So it's an interesting subject. It's something you actually do, you use every day, and it's good to know it. All right. So having said that, if matter is anything that has mass and occupies space, then what is mass? Mass, simply put, is the quantity of matter an object contains. The quantity of matter contained in the body is the mass of that substance. Now, mass, the standard unit for measurement of mass is the mole. Mass is measured in mole. The SI unit is the mole. But for practical purpose, everywhere, mass is measured in kilogram and sometimes in grams. So, generally, what makes up matter are three main particles, and they are the atoms, molecules, and ions. So it can be one or two or three of these particles that make up any of the matter you see, any of the objects you see around that makes up matter. But before we proceed to study this, let's look at the properties of matter. Now, when we talk about the properties of anything, we're talking about the characteristics of that thing, the character the thing has. What does it possess? What is the nature of the object? What's the nature of that thing? That's what makes up the property of thing. So when we talk about the property of matter, we're talking about the characteristics of matter. And these properties can be classified into two. We have the physical properties and the chemical properties. Now, physical properties are properties associated with physical changes, and these kind of changes are things you can observe with your sense organ, like color, odor, and then melting point, boiling point, and change of states like evaporation, condensation, and the likes. All these are physical properties. Now, chemical properties, on the other hand, are properties associated with chemical changes. That properties that are associated with changes that produces new substances. For example, a property like rusting of iron. A new substance, iron rust, is produced. A property like a burning of wood, a new substance, ash, is being produced. So these properties associated with chemical properties are properties associated with chemical changes, while physical properties are properties associated with physical changes. Now, the question now is, what is a physical change? A physical change is a change that is easily reversible and in which new substance is formed. No new substance is formed. It's easily reversible and no new substance is formed. That's a physical change. Now, what we mean by it is easily reversible? It means that if you form a thing or if you change to something, you can bring it back to the original form. That is being what it means, that it's very reversible. Now, when we say no new substance is formed, it means that whatever is the original substance remain the same product at the end of the change it undergoes. For example now, when we dissolve salt in water, it will form salt solution. It will form salt solution, and when it forms this salt solution, it means this is not a new substance, it is still salt in water. And it can be easily reversed by heating this salt solution and evaporating the water, salt will be left in your crucible. And then it means this has gone back to the original process it undergo. That means there is no new substance formed and the process is what? Reversible. That is what a physical change is. Generally speaking, change of state is actually a physical change. Change of state from one form to the other is a physical change. For instance, when we talk about a solid, for instance, ice, changing to liquid, which could be water, this is a physical change because this liquid can go back to solid when you freeze it, and the solid can go back to liquid when you heat it. So this process that gives you the liquid is the process that gives you the liquid is melting, while the process that converts the liquid back to solid is freezing. You can't just change a liquid to gas, and you can bring a gas back to liquid. When you bring a gas from this state to the liquid state, it can only happen from a liquid state to gaseous state. It is evaporation. While from the gaseous state to the liquid state can only happen by condensation. This will happen when you keep your bucket of water outside. You come back, you see that it has dropped to a level because of water molecules have gone into the air as gas. And then, when you wake up in the morning and you see dew falling, it is the water that evaporated during the day that is coming back as during the morning because the temperature of the gaseous molecule the energy of the gaseous molecule has been reduced, and so it will fall back to a lower energy level, which is, we'll be looking at this deeper in other classes. So these are examples of physical changes. So melting, freezing, evaporation, condensation. Now the conversion of gas directly to gaseous state is another change of state, and it is called sublimation, and it's also a physical change. So that is another example of physical change. Also, magnetization and demagnetization of iron. When you keep an iron there, iron filings, it will magnetize them. That is a physical change because the magnets and the iron filings have been drawn together, but no new substance is formed. It is still iron filings and a magnet. And you can still demagnetize that iron by removing it from the magnet, and you have your iron filings separately, and you have your magnet back. So no new substance is formed. So this process is reversible, and no new substance is formed. So what are we saying? We are saying that a physical change is a change that is easily reversible, and no new substance is formed. Now, what is a chemical change? A chemical change, on the other hand, is a change that is not easily reversible and in which new substance is formed. It's not easily reversible and new substance is what? Formed. That is a chemical change. For example, the burning of firewood. The burning of firewood involves a chemical change. Reasons being that when you burn wood, during burning, wood will form ash, it will give out smoke, and then gas. There is no way you put this product together to give you back your wood. There is no way you put this together to get back your wood. That means it is not reversible. And there is no way you will say this ash, not the smoke, not the gas, is the same as the wood. These are all completely new products. They have their different characteristics, different from the wood. They are entirely different in their own nature. So in a chemical change, you cannot reverse it, and what? A new substance is formed. Another example of a chemical change is fermentation and decay. Fermentation, when fermentation takes place, new products are formed. Like when you ferment your sugar, you will get, when you ferment sugar, you get a new product, ethanol, and a gas. Now, you cannot convert this back to sugar, and ethanol is completely a new product. When animals die and they decay, they give out so many back to the ecosystem. For example, you have nitrogen being given up, ammonia being given up, the carbon in the system will be given up. There is no way you mash those two back to get the animal back. It is a chemical change because it is not easily reversible and no new substance is formed. Now, to summarize this, let's look at the differences, or let's try to compare a physical change and a chemical change. A physical change and a chemical change. Let's compare them as we wrap up. Now, a physical change, we say it is easily reversible. A chemical change, it is not easily reversible. Here, no new substance is formed. No new substance is formed. Here, new substance are formed. It does not involve great amount of heat. It requires great amount of heat. So this is the comparison between a physical change and a chemical change. Now remember, we define matter as anything that has mass and can occupy space. We look at the properties of matter, we look at the physical properties and the chemical properties. We also look at the association with the physical change and chemical changes. We now look at the comparison between a physical change and a chemical change. Before we wrap up, please, if you have any question pertaining this, make sure you drop them under the comment section. And if this is your first time of visiting this channel, do not forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that anytime we bring a new update, you will be able to get them instantly. Now, before we go, I want to leave you with this. Group the following. Group the following into physical change and chemical change. Dissolution of sugar in water, frying of palm oil, lighting of matches, roasting of iron. Please take this 1 minute and do it quickly. You group this. Is it a physical change or a chemical change? Is it a physical change or a chemical change? A physical change or a chemical change? A physical